What's up? Good
What's
evening,
up?
guys.
What's up?
How you all doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
Eric, you're kind of wiggling. What happened to your setup, man?
I'm in the hotel. I'm sorry, and it's late here. It's 1 hour later, so I'm a little bit way past my bedtime already. But
Oh,
yeah,
are you in the Philippines? Or
I'm
you
in
where were you?
Japan.
Oh, still in Japan. Okay, I
Yes,
thought
yes.
you like jump around.
No,
Okay,
no, I'll be in
cool.
Japan for the next probably about a month.
Wow.
Probably.
Wow,
Probably. Yeah. I'm
that's
doing
a
the
long.
pilgrim. You guys know the pilgrimage I'm on, right?
The what?
A pilgrimage. I haven't started it yet, but like just up walking. I'll be walking for probably like 30 or 40 days. I started it last year actually, and then uh, because of a few different issues, I stopped it. But now I'm gonna finish it.
Wow.
Man, that's nice, huh? That's
Yeah.
nice.
About
Cool. How about you, Mr. P?
oh, go ahead.
Eric is like walking around in Japan. What are you up to?
Sounds adventurous. For me,
Yeah,
no, not really. Not really much. Just checking out new stores from here and there, seeing if they're active.
Are they
same,
active?
same. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
active,
they're
right?
doing all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brought me some good news that you said that Hobson One has been changed from the space to Neo House. So it will be a closest Neo House to me now. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
And we can probably like go there when it officially opens.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's make some time
Yeah.
there. Cool. All right, while we are at it, let's just say hi to all. I saw the message from Neo San Francisco since before we start live, right? So good morning your time and good evening our time, especially Eric, way past his bedtime now.
I know. It's already 10:30 out here. I know. I know Neo San Francisco. By the way, he was in Guangzhou, I think. Right. That was a few months back. You're back in America now.
Oh yeah. I remember some comments that he said that he's in China at that time,
Yeah. I
right?
know he was in Guangzhou. I think. I mean, I don't know. I think he was in Guangzhou. But
I
are you
see.
still out here? And maybe you can leave some comments about what you thought about
Sure. You leave
your
comment. Yeah.
your experiences in China and Neo in particular.
All right. Good morning to Yasin as well. Panyawat is back. Okay. Thanks
I
for
know
joining us again.
menu.
Okay, Bangkok Motor Show and yes. And you know what? Surprisingly, yeah. Let me off track a little bit, sidetrack a little bit. The booking number on the car for all the motor show, right? Toyota is number one in Thailand, and second one is BYD.
Wow.
So BYD is just their third year. They came to Thailand not as long yet, but they get up to the second place now, and
Price
all
is
EV.
still very important. Yeah.
Yeah, the price is I wouldn't say they're too cheap. Like they dumb the price down a bit, but it's still I cannot say like BYD is like a really cheap car there. You cannot say that. They still got
Okay.
some price there. Yeah. All right. Okay. Welcome back. Good evening for you, and it could be like good afternoon for you. Yeah. He's back since August. Back in August to China.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So August you'll be back in Guangzhou. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Stayed long enough to catch the Guangzhou Auto Show. Yeah, there could be some cool stuff there. Okay, we're gonna go and see some ONVO stuff tonight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
tonight's show
thanks for
start
the
on.
number.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, like 5K booking. It's like small number compared to the number which like they sell in China, but in Thailand it's considered a lot in one event, right? Like 10 days straight event. Dr. Feng Shen in Shanghai was in. Okay. He's one of the founder, is it?
He's the head of New
Power.
Power.
Oh, head of your power. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Good afternoon. Okay.
Afternoon.
Good night. Afternoon your time, James. Yes. Glad to have you back. Good number again. But your wife is always good with number. Like stat. Good. Next time, if you got some homework, I'll let you do it too. But you need to help us to try to find the number and figures. All right. Cool. So I think the sound is okay. Seems to be because most can hear our questions and all. So I think we can start with the usual intro, Eric.
All right, let's do it once again. Welcome back, everybody, to Blue Sky Coming unofficial NIO podcast. We're live streaming here on YouTube and also hopefully mostly available on other platforms, but not always. I'm sorry about that. I got to get back to uploading regularly. But follow us here on YouTube, most important, or Facebook. I think Ting, right?
Yeah,
So-
our Facebook is like only the live stream. I haven't posted a photo or anything yet. So I mean, you guys can say hi to us on the Facebook page as well, right? The same name, exactly same name. So
tonight's show,
yes,
we're going to be mainly talking about ONVO, the sub brand, and as usual, we're going to start with everything NIO, rumors and news from the past week with Mr. P. So let's jump into it.
All right. So let's jump straight into ONVO. So I saw one of the comments saying that the ONVO front looks kind of odd. Well, if you look at the background image of Ting, that's one of the first official leaked photos, but that was actually taken with, I think, with a wide angle camera. So it kind of makes the headlights look a bit bigger than what it's supposed to be. And NIO CEO has also said when he was confronted with this leak, he said that the actual car looks much better than those photos, because those photos are like sort of like, sneakily taken. So it wasn't like official good camera photographs. So if you look at some of the other pictures that we have that you'll see later on that are camouflaged, those are actually more representative of what the car will actually look like. So this, some say it looks bad, but here, this is what the car will actually look like. So, I mean, like, the headlights definitely look a little bit smaller than the earlier leaks, and I think this looks a lot more well-rounded. And but what do you guys think about the design of this car?
Well, can I just jump in and say that I think white cars almost always, not always, but almost always universally look worse than pretty much any car. So if you look at this kind of gray camo car versus, the white one in the other picture, this one I think looks about 1,000,000 times better. But that's just
hey, I got the white ES6, man.
I'm sorry, I know.
The white ES6 looks good. I don't take the bully. The white color also does look good. So if you have the white car, nothing wrong with it, yeah.
Ignore the bully.
But I mean, if you compare the ONVO picture, like that angle right there that's on the screen right now versus the one that's directly behind you, Ting, like the headlights look better. Everything looks a lot better to me.
Actually, this one, it looks a little bit stretched. Like Mr. P said, that it might use like 0.7, 0.6. So the
wide angle
view is a
camera.
little bit stretched a bit. But this one looks more proportionally right? Especially like I think this one represent the, you don't see any stretch at the edge of the photos. I think this one is pretty much proportionally correct.
Yeah.
This one,
And one thing you'll notice is that go ahead.
Now I just said, like, this photo itself near the edge, it could be slightly stretched, but not as much as this one.
Yeah. And if you pay attention, it has the camera humps on the corners of right there, but it doesn't have the LiDAR. Like, the LiDAR is actually going to be optional, apparently. Or possibly they might also introduce the under the windscreen LiDAR, which they've actually done at the auto show last year, Shanghai Auto Show last year. They had an ET7 with a LiDAR that was inside the car. So that could also be possible, but we'll have to see. They probably might. This just might be the non-LiDAR variant. Yeah.
Look at the thickness. Yeah, it could be hiding something. Like optional here.
Yeah, it's possible, but I don't think they're gonna like squeeze in that high tech of a thing, like under windscreen LiDAR in this car just yet. It's probably gonna debut on like some of the more premium NIOs first. Yeah.
Are you 100% confident, Mr. P, that they're going to be LiDAR option?
For this car, yes. Yeah. Yes. There's gonna be LiDAR options. Optional LiDAR or non-LiDAR, also single motor variant or dual motor variants. So big screen as well. And the CEO said this car is going to offer everything mass, like a family market, like SUV would want, a family would want. So that also includes very comfortable seats and big screens, and also potentially a fridge. Now that Xiaomi has that fridge in their car, it's very likely that NIO is also going to be adding fridge in the car. Well, they probably had plans for it all along, being that it's family themed. So they're probably going to have a fridge in it as well, in the more expensive variants, of course.
Just to touch back a bit on the LiDAR thing, right? If it's really under the glass with this angle of the windshield, it's really cool tech there. Because like what all the rest of the LiDAR equipment we have is mostly like close to 90 degrees of the emission, right? So the light goes straight out of the plane glass and come back, right? With the minimum variance on the angle. So this one is pretty steep. I mean, the windshield is like you got a lot of infraction and everything. I'm not like expert on lighting stuff, but just a basic physics. Like there could be some correction there and some like I don't know which model or sort of tech they use there to correct for this. But yeah, that's pretty good thing if you would have that. But then you still have like kind of like a the devil's horn there.
Devil's horns or dragon horns.
Dragon horn. Sorry, guys. Dragon horn. Sorry.
No, devil horn is fine as well.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. Some might not like it.
Yeah,
some might feel
exactly. Yeah,
like a sleek profile. It should not be anything like protrude out of the the frame of the chassis. I'm okay because I got used to the like the new like the ES6. It does have all of it, right? So
yeah.
After a while, it grows into you, so you don't feel like it's that weird.
Yeah, like I got used to it. At first, we were like all like, "What the hell? What's up with this design?" But now I got used to it. But my wife is like, "That just looks bad."
Right.
But now every car almost has it. So
exactly,
that or LiDAR unit on the top.
Yeah.
The side profile looks very nice.
Yeah, the side profile looks good. And I like Tesla, they got the camera here instead of here, right? They got it on the B pillar. So the issue I found is that it's hidden sort of like under the glass or like a plastic cover. So sometimes you got that sort of like a foggy stuff in there. And if some dust blowing in when you try to defog it, it stays and you can't get rid of it. And you can see on the image on your Sentry mode or what, you can see like a tiny, like when you got dust on the lens or the sensor, it's a dust, and it's like it's just annoying to see this sort of thing. And you can clean it easily, but for on the top one, it's just right on top of the camera. So like the camera lens is right out front, right? There's nothing covered, so you just wipe it off. Yeah, but for Tesla, you may have a little bit of a situation if you are in the dusty place a bit. But it looks good. What is the wheelbase? You got the figure roughly?
No, I don't have any figures. We don't have any stats. But just looking at it, I mean, the curves, the lines, it's sort of like sloping upwards. The line just below the mirror, kind of sloping upwards, looks very, very nice, I think. It looks very similar to a Model Y, to be honest. I mean, from far, some people might confuse it for a Model Y, but damn, it looks really good.
I think it's a little
bit. What about you, Eric? What do you think of it?
I mean, I think it's a little bit less bulbous than a Model Y, right? A little bit less of an egg shape. But yeah, I think it looks nice. Yeah. I almost think on this picture, the shape of it resembles more the Xiaopeng. What is it? G6, right? Especially at the back half a little bit. Not quite, but yeah, I think it looks nice. I mean, we'll see. We'll see when it's officially unveiled. It's hard to really say right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like in my opinion, this front it just looks like it's a sedan. You don't see the profile of either crossover or anything. Like it might be the angle where they took it also, so it can be like misperception a little bit when you see this. Hey, this is like it's like a ET5.
I
It's
think
like
if
a
they
submarine ET5.
shoot it from lower, you'll be able to hopefully should be able to tell that it's more of an SUV.
Yeah. But now, look at the grill up front, the lower part, right? It looks almost like a kind of like resembling of the ET5 when we go do a test drive, Mr. P. It's like a kind of similar a bit.
Yeah.
But then you
And
start seeing the bulk. Yeah.
And just going back to the previous photo with the man standing next to him, yeah, right there, you can see. Like, I think the spacious interior is going to be very, very nice because I'm assuming that guy's like probably at least 1.70 meters, probably, at least, probably. So the height of the car seems pretty nice. There's going to be like lots of room. And the CEO did do a little live leak before. He filmed a video of the legroom in the second row, and it was very, very spacious. So definitely a very comfortable car. So that's going to be very nice.
And he's like 180, right? He's like a six feet tall.
He's 180. And he had like 2.5 fists. Yeah.
Of the headroom.
Legroom.
Oh, right.
Legroom. Yeah. Okay. With somebody sitting in front.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see the actual space when it is launched. Yeah, from the side, you can see a lot more like a coupe type now. And yeah, it does look a bit like if you look only the later half, it looks like a Model Y.
Yeah.
And this is on the road too. Yeah.
That one looks good. I haven't seen that picture yet. That one looks good.
Yeah, this picture looks really nice. The line, wow, the curves, sweet.
I mean, once the Model Y is the best-selling car in China and like best-selling car in the world, right? So everyone got their hands on like competitive model with the Model Y. So I really hope that this one would be a good one from ONVO to compete.
Yeah, and it can battery swap, and it's going to be cheaper and better specs. So wow, could be the winning formula.
So, Mr. P and Ting, do you think it's going to be a winning formula, or do you think it's going to be the kind of product that we need as NIO investors to save the company, so to speak? I know there's a lot of people worried. Like if you look in the comments already, Marine One is a little worried, it seems.
I think absolutely, because one of the big factors why people haven't really bought a NIO or gotten a NIO is because of the price. It's not exactly affordable. And having a cheap car that can do battery swap and just check all the boxes, that's definitely going to be a selling factor for a lot of people. And NIO CEO has said during the earnings call that it's going to be 10% cheaper in terms of cost to produce compared to a Model Y. So you can expect at least, it's going to be much cheaper than the Model Y. And I'm thinking that this is definitely going to be a success. And, just talking to drivers here in China, like even like taxi drivers, like a lot of them are buying EREVs. I asked them, why don't you buy a car that can do battery swap like a NIO? It's like, it's too expensive. They can't afford it. Or buy a pure EV. Pure EV, I mean, like they have to charge. There's that problem. The pure EVs, some of them do sell well. A lot of the taxis, they buy them, but it's charging is a big pain in the butt for them. So here you got this problem all solved. And just going back to that question, compared to the ET5, I think this is going to be like maybe in terms of performance, not as much, or luxuriousness, not as good as the ET5, but definitely in terms of other stuff, it's probably going to be like better than the ET5. Okay, so in terms of roominess, in terms of like features, big screens, fridge, comfortable seats, headroom space, probably better than ET5, but maybe not the level of materials like ET5 and ES6, ET5T. They use aluminum steel hybrid. So this car, you can basically expect they're probably gonna really cut down on costs and not use as much aluminum, or maybe it's gonna be just pure steel frame. And yeah, but I definitely don't expect them to do like a massive cost cutting in terms of materials and really just go cheap with the materials. For example, it was reported that Xiaomi used aluminum cables instead of copper cables. I don't think NIO's going to go to that extent, but yeah, but definitely this is going to be like a cheaper car than Model Y, but it's still going to be very good quality, knowing that NIO has always designed their cars to meet the 5-star NCAP safety rating. So it's going to be a very safe car, and the quality materials and luxuriousness, performance, maybe not as much as the ET5, but in terms of features, probably better than the ET5.
But what do you guys think about, though, kind of the comment about how can they succeed when they have the same management that is not necessarily succeeding with NIO and with convincing people that battery swap is better, and by potentially previously not making an EREV version of NIO, right? There's some possible mistakes that they have made in the past. Do we think that they're going to continue to make those mistakes moving forward?
Well, I think that this car, once it enters the market, it's definitely going to get some buzz, and people that pay attention. There's lots of people that pay attention to NIO, but might not necessarily could afford a NIO. They might have wanted a NIO, but that might be their opportunity to buy in, and it's also a great opportunity for NIO owners to maybe buy another car. Maybe they don't want a ES6 or ET5. Maybe that doesn't have the things they want. Maybe they're just looking for a very much cheaper car for daily commuting, and this could also be one of the cars that they will buy. Like, what's really funny was during one of the BAS events, it was March 15th. The CEO actually said that he himself will buy the sub brand's car, the one that's around 100K RMB, for his wife. So that's very interesting. Yeah.
So what about, I guess, though, the idea, how do you foresee them marketing a battery swap, and actually convincing people that it's better? You know what I mean? Like, we all know it's better. People who have used it know it's better. But at some point, you might have to start asking these questions, right? Especially if you're an investor, right? Is it possible to convince the greater public that it's better? Do you think it's just the price point?
Well, I think that's one part. I think the price really does is a big factor. But also, if you're looking at some of the partnerships that they're doing, it's a lot with the government, like State Grid, Southern State Grid, Suzhou State Grid, Anhui State Grid. So these governments are going to build out swap stations. So there's going to be more public awareness towards swap. And it's just going to become more and more mainstream. But that's going to take some time. It's not going to be instant. It's very easy for people to comprehend charging and filling up the gas, but battery swap, it's a little bit more difficult to comprehend. So it's going to take some time, and marketing is going to be pretty important. And I think that once they get started, people are definitely going to try out the car and learn more about battery swap. Just like with NIO, some people might test drive the car without even knowing battery swap, but then they take them to the swap station. So this is something to be aware of. Yeah.
What do you think, Ting? You think that the NIO's management is capable of launching a successful brand or not?
I think the initial phase of the sub-brand launch, there could be some sort of promo similarly to when NIO started, but it wouldn't be as generous as when NIO started, right? Like, you guys got unlimited swap, so on and on. It could be maybe a bunch of the swap coupon service fee, for example. You still pay for a charging fee, like the electricity fee, and they will find that this one is almost the same or even better than charging. Even if you add the service fee included when you swap it at the low state of charge, it's almost the same as charging, and you save 1 hour, 2 hour, right? Or even, if you need to wait on the line to go to the charger, then you save a lot more. So there could be some similar promotion to suit that groups of the customer. It might not be generous as the NIO when they started, because no one knows about NIO. When they started, they had to go all in, right? Like unlimited swap. They like a Tesla. No one knows when they started free supercharging for life, something like that. There could be something similar, but not as generous. That's what I would think. And the car is still chargeable, right? So you can just go to charge. If you want to use the swap coupon, that's fine. You can just go and charge. You can use as a normal EV. Doesn't mean like you need to swap battery all the time, right?
And I just want to add last thing on this kind of comment that Marine One made is that it seems like William Li has been saying all the right things with regards to, like, we've been looking at what the market is actually what they want, right? Whether it's a horizontal screen instead of a vertical screen, whether it's accessories like a fridge. Like, we don't know everything that's going to be in the ONVO, but at least I personally feel like with the Gen 2 NIO cars, they just kind of iterated on the Gen 1 NIO cars a little bit. And so they didn't necessarily look at what the broader market was doing with so many screens like the auto and things like that. But now they seem to be at least looking and reflecting on what the actual market wants more. And so hopefully ONVO will come out and they'll show that. So I personally have faith in NIO management. I know everybody we've talked about this on this podcast before. Everybody that we interact with at NIO, they're supremely professional people. They're smart people. So I think that the management in place is okay, and they can do it. They just have to, pivot to what the market wants, and I think they're doing that.
Yeah, also, for sure. It's gonna launch with a promo. I even think that they may market from the beginning that the battery in your car is not the brand new one. Conspiracy theory. We swapped it before we tested, so the battery is already resource pool. It comes from the station, so don't worry that you're gonna be swapping with your new one with the old one, because it's all core battery. There's no new or old. You can use per the range they advertise for, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
And also remember, guys, like there's also BAS. So the starting price is going to be cheaper than the Model Y, but then you can slap on BAS, rent the battery, get the price down to maybe 150K RMB. That's just hella cheap. Yeah. And that's going to be a pretty big no-brainer if they have like certain BAS incentives like they do for the NIO brand. Like you pay monthly, and then you also get like a voucher to buy a new car. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, something to be aware of. Maybe like, if the BAS price is just very, very cheap, that's going to be picked up by a lot of people.
As you guys are both parents, right? So as you guys, if you were shopping for a new car at the moment, you didn't have a NIO, like, I know you guys are already fans of NIO, so it's hard to kind of like speculate on this, but would you see a selling point like as battery swap? You don't have to deal with sitting there for half an hour while the kid's in the back seat, like watching an iPad or whatever. Like, this is the way to market the car, right? Especially a family car. Like, they're probably gonna go heavy on, like, you're gonna save time. Your kid's not gonna be sitting in the back seat waiting for you to charge. You're not gonna be waiting in line to charge. This has got to be a big selling point that they put in when they launched this brand, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's even faster than getting in China.
Yeah, I think the user with a good habit and with the charger at home, they may not feel the difference because they plug in at home all the time, and then they wake up with the full charge or 80% charge, whatever they want for that day, right? Or daily use. But for majority of the user, they might not even have the charger at home. And if they forgot to charge the car back from the office, then they park, and then in the morning, and they need to like drive more than what they have. The solution to reach in time is just go and swap 10 minutes and just keep on with your day, right? And I did that a couple of times, even though I have a charging at home. So to put this into the case where most of the people would use is that not everyone would have a charger. And even though they have a right to install charger, maybe their facility cannot be like, they cannot allow to place the charger there. Maybe some buildings and facility is not fully support, right? Even for the home charge, right? So I think the selling point is still, you can almost like travel as if you have a gasoline car, because you just go and stop, fill the tank within like 5 to 10 minutes and move on, right? The same thing here. They just need to kind of have the people see that this is exactly the same thing, and the density of the swap station throughout the major city is like, there's no issue at all currently, right? And soon will be even more when they have that battery management company and all that partnership ongoing. The station version 4, I think not only NIO would operate, right? They have it all up to the partners and everything. So the expansion could be a lot more. So the coverage on this part in the future, I do not see as an issue, but they need to let people to understand, like, this is exactly like you buy like you get a gasoline car and you forgot to fill your tank, and you still go out and you still can make the trip of the day, reach your office before your boss kick your butt or something, just like that. It's as simple as that. They just need to ensure that when they market it, people see it as like, oh, I can charge and I can also swap. Like, these two matters a lot for those who doesn't even get to the EV or anything yet, nah.
Yeah, for sure. And Tiago says power swap clicks when people experience it, which is definitely true. It's difficult to explain to potential buyers. That's why I know Mr. P had a video too, right? You're talking about how recently, like, salespeople were taking people out to actually experience the power swap, right?
Yeah.
Are they still doing that?
Well, they have many methods to explain power swap. Some of the stores have a swap station right outside, but they also have the iPad. They have a TV. Inside the car, they can show the swap stations, and they also have the swapping map. But most of the time, they just drive the car to the swap station with the passengers and experience swap together.
Yeah, I was gonna say, 2 weeks back, I took my friend, came from Thailand. He's working in one of the organization that build all the charger in Thailand, right? So I took him all around, and then I brought him to one of NIO swap station. And while we were looking at it and see the car getting in and swap, there are 2 test drive vehicle like lined up, but they didn't come to swap. They just come to see the previous guy swapping, and then the sale explaining to the passenger inside and the guy who's driving. He was sitting in the passenger seat in front, and the customer test driving the car sitting on the driver's seat, right? And two more, like maybe their family. So this guy was like explaining, but the car didn't go to swap. But at least they will see like, if they go to swap, it will be like this. And then they just keep on with the test drive. And the other car is the same, like 2 test drive car. I'm not sure from the same store or not, but one ES8 and one ES6, brand new one. And the guy explained the same. So they do it kind of routine. I'm sure like all of the test drive right now, if they are in the nearby swap station, they will just do this.
Yeah. If
they pass to the same route, they will just do this as a standard procedure now, which is good, by the way.
Yeah, but I think they still haven't really gotten to the point where they fully explain battery swap to what we all want. Like, there's like over 9 benefits to battery swap, and most people only see one, like convenience. There's also like the big one, upgradability, right? Like, it's not really being talked about a lot. And I think NIO should really have like a big poster listing down the 9 benefits of battery swap. Maybe like have that as a sticker on the glass, on the outside the NIO house. And even like pedestrians who walk by, they can look at that and see the 9 benefits of battery swap. But it's just it's frustrating, I know, but like it also takes time, and I guess NIO hasn't really found a very good way to fully advertise it, like to our liking, to our standards. Like, they want to keep the store minimalistic, but then they have so much stuff to convey that it's just contradicting themselves. Like, NIO's won all these awards, but It's you know, they don't really showcase it like billboards and that kind of stuff. They might have a TV showcasing that, but you know, really you got to have that plastered everywhere and let people know that, you know, your cars have the 5-star safety rating from NCAP, you know, has battery swap, won the best car award from this, you know. So yeah.
Actually, I think it's kind
On
of.
that,
Oh, go ahead, Ting.
yeah, I was going to continue with that same point Mr. P was brought up, is that the upgradability, right? One of the car that test drove that went past by the swap station, the sales actually tell the customer that, oh, by the way, if you want to travel long, you can swap to like extended range battery, and once you make your trip, you swap it back, and the lease is actually pretty cheap. He said that. So actually, they try to add that, pros into the demo
Yeah.
itself. Yeah, so which is good if they do this as the SOP, right? Standard operating procedure for test drive for each and every vehicle. When you pass by the swap station, explain the key points. Let them understand. I'm sure that at least everyone sitting in the car, not only the driver, his wife and the kids, when they go to school, when the wife goes shopping with their friends, they would say the same. If people ask, or if they come to the point where they need to discuss about cars and stuff, they might mention this too, right? It's not only the driver.
Yeah.
Pass out the message, sort of.
I also wanted
Good
to
job, the sale. Good job,
on
the sale.
he said about how the stores are very minimalistic. Is like if you walk by a Huawei store, you know, of course they have computers and phones and everything, right? But they also have cars now, and they put them all in there. But when I walk by a NIO store, there's no like table with NIO like 4 NIO phones out. Do you guys have that in Beijing or anything? Like, there's no reason to walk into a NIO store unless unless you're looking into a car, right? But as they potentially venture into other electronics things, mobile phones, personal electronics, they need to start making it more of like an experience center, right? It seems like a missed opportunity there as well. Even if they don't sell very many phones, like you have a row of tables like an Apple store or a Huawei store. Put 4 phones on it, let people play with it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with
they do have a table, but it's within the NIO owners only area, and they have like 4 or 5 phones there, different colors, and you can hold on to it and play with it. But it's never. It seems to be never displayed next to the cars. And at some of the NIO spaces, they also have a table. For example, like you two have all been to that NIO house at Shine Hills here in Beijing. Like there's a table in the back, and they have NIO phones on it over there, so people can check it out if they want. But at most NIO houses, the table is within like NIO owners only area, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah.
So if that is the case, meaning they're trying to like market the NIO phone for the current users and current owners and all. But I do agree with Eric though. If it's open to the public as like those who walk past by, just check out the car, they will see the phone, and then they show some similarity like Huawei, like you say, right? Right now, Xiaomi, they got SU7 among all the other IoT stuff in the phone. The same thing could be like perceived in here. Like
And
the car is some product, but you still do have like some gadget stuff tied to it.
the stores would get more foot traffic too. They just might just look busier just because people are walking in to look at something they didn't know that even existed, a NIO phone. So
yeah, it could be a watch in the future, like with the NIO watch where you can sync with the phone and then use it as UWB key fob, on your wrist.
Exactly.
Could probably be there, yeah.
So I don't know if you guys actually did the homework I asked you guys. Did you guys come up with any wild speculation? I asked. Let me back up. I asked my friend here to come up with some wild speculation, just out of nowhere, if they wanted to, about what anything about ONVO that they might be able to predict. Do you guys have one or not?
I can only tie in with some of the info. Yeah, just bear with me a bit. I'll show you this one. As engineer, I always like numbers. Okay, so this one is like a retail volume for March, and if I filter only for the BEV, yeah, or plug-in hybrid and all the EREV are excluded, this only BEV. Model Y and Model 3 are actually like number 1, number 3. We got like a BYD Seagull right in the second. And you see like a 57,000 cars, the Model Y itself. Would you think that the rear-wheel drive variant would be the best selling among these numbers, or it's going to be like long range or performance? But I think like majority of people would buy the rear-wheel drive, right? Because the price starting off as like 263K, right? They wouldn't. I'm sure like this 368K price would maybe like 10 or 20%, maybe something like that of this number. And for long range, maybe like better a bit, but majority of these numbers, I'm sure it's like a rear-wheel drive variant. So with this, the ONVO rear-wheel drive or single motor variant would play the key, competitive area in here, right? So if they really attack to the right spot, they could get some of this figure, I hope. But they cannot just come up with like, we give you performance, or dual motor is there, tri-motor, whatever. I think they're going to have like pretty much maybe even the single motor with the lower power output and the higher power output, single motor. Not even reach to the dual motor scheme yet. If you want dual motor, you just go to ET5 and you got dual motor already, or ET5T, right? Of course you pay more. But then on board, they would go with like a single motor, probably moderate power output and the higher power output. That's what I would I would hope so, or I would speculate to. I wouldn't see it comes as a dual motor like one of the option for them to choose. It could be like option lower power output, and if you want faster one a bit, you go with a high one, but it's still a rear-wheel drive single motor. Because they need to get this figure, man. They need to get maybe like 1%, 2% of this. It's huge. Monthly, right? And ET5 could get like maybe like few percent off the 30,000 too. I mean, from Model 3, right? So
hopefully more than 1%.
Has to be more. But monthly is not. We are not reaching 1%. Yeah. No, but monthly we are like 2,000. I think last month was 2,000 or something. We're not as okay, let me get that one up also. It's good as we're seeing this now. Mr. P, you can go on with your speculation. Let me get that
one, Mr. P.
Yeah, so my speculation is that this car is going to sell at least 10,000 per month in terms of deliveries, at least. All right, and the reasoning is very simple. With BAS, that car is going to be affordable by everyone. All right, everyone can afford that car, and it's probably going to be like with financing and that kind of stuff. It's going to be extremely cheap to just pick one up along with BAS. So if it's affordable by everyone, then it's really it's really going to disrupt a lot of players. So not just Tesla, but also like BYD is going to get impacted as well. So I really think that this is going to sell 10,000 per month at least, maybe even up to 20,000 per month. It's going to be a very, very hot car because it's cheap. You got the quality of NIO, and also it can do battery swap, and that's all that needs to be said. Yeah.
I think 10,000. I think that's doable. It's doable. I hope they can achieve that.
I hope so too. Yeah, I hope so. But to get to the point of mass like BYD is really need to be price competitive, yeah. Because BYD is like they cover all of the all kinds of cars, so you can get like less than 100 grand. I mean like 100,000 yuan in here. They got a bunch of it already. Right, it's like they cover all of it. You want what? Just pick your price. We got a car for you. What you got? Only 90K budget. We got a car for you. I got only 60K budget. I do have a car for you. So it's difficult to compete mass like in the massive scale. But I do believe if you have like, you do not need to have like bunch of models. If it is right, like Tesla, they got only two, and then they sell like what, almost 100K monthly, right? If they got the formula right, I'm sure you don't need to have like bunch of models too.
Yeah, but that kind of leaves them a little bit exposed to the competition, don't you think? Tesla, I mean, like you only have two models that really sell, and competitors keep coming out with cars that are better or targeting your two models that sell. At some point they're going to hit, and then Tesla's going to be really having a big problem, I would think.
Model 3 was having a down in their sales since Q2 of last year, right? And they start picking up again with this refresh, but not as much yet, because their refresh, they aim for much higher number, I'm sure, like almost as close to Model Y figure, but they haven't reached that yet. And it sells better outside of China, I think. It sells quite well in Thailand, I think. In China, the sales is still like kind of, it's not as high as what they would hope, I think, because Model Y is still like, it beats all the market, right? And if it sells well, they wouldn't change anything on the Model Y until they start seeing signal. They have something in their plan already. I mean, the new Jupiter, whatever they call it, they'll just put the trigger when they need it. But with this figure, they have less to worry. But maybe Model 3 would have to be a little bit more worrying for them.
Yeah.
But sedan doesn't sell well too. I mean,
can you guys guess at what the ONVO virtual assistant will be called? No guess? Xiao Lele or something?
The what?
Maybe. Yeah.
What could it be? It's not going to be Nomi.
Oh, you mean the, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what it would call?
Maybe like Xiao Le, maybe Little Le.
Xiao Le.
The Chinese name for ONVO is what?
The Chinese name for and then BYD is like Xiao Di or something.
Xiao Di. Ni hao Xiao Di. Xiao Di is the Di, same Di. Well, Nomi is nothing to resembling NIO, right? Nomi is just Nomi. So this one will be completely.
I think, I guess what I was more thinking is like, Nomi is the same everywhere. It's the same in Germany. It's the same everywhere. All the other brands are very Chinese, right? Do you think ONVO will, when they launch, I guess my question is, will they, maybe not obviously going to say they're going to be in 20 countries or whatever, right? But will it be more of an international style kind of brand, or will it be a very specific Chinese niche?
Initially, it's Chinese first.
Right.
Yeah, but I think they might have a English name for it because the design headquarters is in Germany, so maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at NIO and everything they've done, they've maybe not been successful overseas, but their plan from the start was to be a global country, right? Or a global company. So
yeah,
they did that from their assistant to design language and lots of things. They didn't really necessarily target only the Chinese market.
One of the things with the name, like the Chinese name Le Dao, I don't know if you guys translated that, but in Chinese it's like happy road, happy valley. So it's kind of some people have really objected to this name. For example, even some of the sales reps, NIO sales reps, they were like, it would have been better off if they just called it Alps. Like, why even call it like Happy Road or something? But NIO CEO did explain that this is supposed to bring you happiness. So, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the name.
Then it could be Xiao, like you said. Ni hao Xiao Le. Hey, but in English, what it would call them? I mean, hey, happy.
Or
why not? Right?
Hello,
ONVO, okay.
Hello, ONVO.
But it should refer to the happiness. So, what is a cool word for happiness? Noun. I don't know.
Yeah.
To name something. Yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think the visual representation of it will be? Because Xpeng has like a robot, right? And other brands have like Nomi clones, where it's just like little black ball with eyeballs? Do you think it'll be like a person or a robot or anything, or just a voice? Does it matter?
But to me, it doesn't matter. But something that visually clear enough for the user to see and interact with. It doesn't need to be like eyeball or robot or anything.
Yeah.
It could just be like an animation, like a that sort of it vibrate with your sound, something that represent that it's listening or it's,
yeah, like the little waveform, the line waveform.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be the eye, man. It's kind of creepy sometimes. Like, well, the eye and what you don't need that, right? I think if as long as you know that it actually interact with you, like listen to you and then can actually do the task, and you know that it's complete this task and go on or whatever, it's okay to me.
Yeah. Only thing that bothers me about thinking about things like that, and thank God I'm not like a designer or anything like that, but like to me it just reflects like how all these cars are becoming more and more similar, because I they're not gonna have a Nomi like robot, which is quite unique, right? They're gonna have a little face or a little animated person and a voice, and like every car is the same. They all have the horizontal screen now. They're all gonna have a fridge now. Like that's the biggest kind of concern I have with ONVO and with every car. They're all becoming the same. At least battery swap is unique, so they got to market that.
You guys watch this the Three Body Problem, the series on Netflix?
Oh my god, that show put me to sleep.
Well, no. I mean, it's from the Chinese novel, right? Like, yeah. So the alien, it can actually communicate it with the human, and like using their cell phone, the proton supercomputer or whatever. And the avatar of the alien is just like pretty lady with the sword. So if they want to go all out with the full graphic intense stuff, then they need to put something like that. Then you feel like you're talking to something. Yeah, you're talking to a person, and then that person actually do things happening in the car for you. Yeah, and then it's like some good shit there. So
we'll see what happens. They're gonna launch it soon, so we'll see.
ONV. Hey, ONV. Good one, man.
Do we have any comments or questions we want to get into?
Yeah, we can bring up some starting the question now. Okay. I would just bypass the downturn, the let go of people. That happens to many industry too, in the tech industry recently. So, and the stock price, I will not bring it up. Sorry, guys, but hang in there, man. Hang in there.
YS Kang seems to think that Mr. P is actually William Lee, so that's interesting.
Huh? What?
I mean, I don't think he thinks I'm William Lee, and I don't think he thinks Tang is William Lee.
Mr. Lee, where are you in China? I want to meet you.
You
mean Mr. Pang here is not he's not Mr. Lee. If you meant Lee Bin, then I don't think he's around. I hope he will hear some of our podcasts sometime. Okay, Beijing, what's the detail? I don't know what you mean.
I think they're asking when the car will be delivered. Yeah.
Yeah, so the cars, ONVO is going to be delivered in Q4. So still quite a ways off. Of course, they get to see these other cars be launched and price their cars accordingly, lower than them. It's better to have a second mover and basically undercut the competitors. Yeah.
Oh, Will is here. He said that he tried Nomi GPT and then speak English. Maybe you didn't speak that clear, yeah, Will?
She understands him. She just doesn't do the work.
Yeah. He doesn't do the work. So in English, it's just like imaginary controlling the car. Yeah, you say it to that, and then you control it yourself, and then Nomi just cheer you up. That's all.
Hey, Will, can you see if she has jokes now in English? Like when I was in Germany, her jokes were like 4 jokes or whatever. So.
Okay. Okay. So this run right now only on ONVO we have that swap, but yeah, they signed a lot of partners. So when their partner bring their own car out, that wouldn't help the NIO direct sales though. I think it just help easing out the investment on the swap station, on this expansion of the swap station and all, because everyone have to put in the money now. It's not just NIO, right?
But I also
But
think it helps just to raise awareness, because if only one company
yeah,
doing battery
it
swap,
go
and
mainstream now.
now
Yeah,
everybody is doing it, yeah, then people aren't going to be
People
worried
would know.
about only, what if NIO goes broke, we won't buy a car from them because we won't be able to battery swap. But if everybody does it, okay.
Yeah, and then who knows? Maybe they will say, but the battery swap is only for the cheaper car. I want like a BMW type swappable. Then it's NIO.
Yeah.
That's the brand NIO. Then they know about NIO. Then they go and buy it, right? So that is my hope. For those who doesn't know jack shit at all about this, right? So they may know when they go mainstream. Then they'll try to find, what about the expensive version of this? I want more like luxury, whatever. Okay, try, man. Try the simple command, man. Something simple like open the fragrance or whatever. Something you can smell or whatever. I don't know. And jokes, yes. Try jokes. Maybe he meant the jokes, yeah.
Apparently,
Yep.
in Netherlands, the jokes are better now than they used to be.
Yeah. Seeker, huh? What do you mean Seeker? Like try the sound, the voice command on Seeker. By the way, I saw one of the command. Okay, this is the one I missed out. So curly hair twin sisters. People love a hair Tesla here, and I'm not
California,
sure.
right? I think
he or she. I think could be a he. I'm sorry. Yeah, I might. Yeah, you guys need to be on the podcast. I'm in California watching all these Tesla all over the place. I also see only 20% of the people here like Tesla. Why? Yeah, like I agree. Like people love or hate Tesla, right? So, but only 20%, but they still sell quite a lot. Huh? That's interesting.
Mr. P's face. Why do you shake your head like that, Mr. P?
Well, a lot of the sales reps have been saying, watch out for Zeekr. I mean, their cars are very competitive right now. The 001 and the 007. I mean, especially the 001 with dual chamber air suspension on that car, compared to ET5T on spec wise, of course. ET5T, we still have spring suspensions. So, there's a very big difference in specs. But of course, NIO still has battery swap. So you'll give that for NIO. But in terms of specs, I mean, like Zeekr's kind of going ham with the specs. Yeah.
What's the price of the fully spec'd out Zeekr 001 now with dual chamber air suspension and everything else you can pimp it out with?
Oh, it's about like
how much?
360.
360.
Was that around 360?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah.
350, 360.
And then a top of the line ET5T with battery swap would also probably end up around there.
Yeah. Around that price. If you don't go for the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack.
The 24 model is actually 329K. So the price is quite competitive now, I think. 329K.
It's a good
for
car.
The full spec. Yeah, full spec. But if you add that NZP, their driving system, you need to pay a little bit more. But it's still like all inclusive. It would be still around. It's still cheaper than the ES6 or even the ET5 full spec. But you got BAS with the NIO, so that would push the price a little bit more competitive.
Yeah. Plus all the other benefits you get with the NIO, but a lot of people don't even realize they get those until they have the car, right? So another kind of failure with the marketing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is good one. Yep. When they did the first drive, then we took it to the swap and it was on. Yeah, I'm sure that everyone see it for the first time. Better yet, if they experience it, right? Like the car need to swap anyway. Okay, why not? Just go and swap. You just press press the button here, leave the steering wheel, it park for you, then press start and then swap for you. It's really eye opener. Like first time I tried was with the Mr. P EC6. I still remember. I couldn't find the reverse, man. I was like flipping up the gear and then it turns the wiper instead because the Tesla was on the stock, right? And NIO is down there, so I was like, oh shoot, it's here. That was eye opening. Not it just like got used to the Tesla thing, so I was like, hey, why it doesn't go? Oh, it's down here. But it was really a good eye opener experience there. Yeah, I do agree. Coming from Tesla, I do have a Tesla too. I still would take NIO on the long road trip compared to a Tesla. And Rotterdam, or in some place only play the video on the power source station. But I still would like to emphasize that the sales, if they took the customer on the test drive, if they pass by the power swap station anyway, just stop by and then show them. If the car is free swap, sometimes the car they got the free swap for life also, right? Like the sales car, some of them like media car, you can swap like unlimited time too. You can just simply show them, let them like experience how to swap it, and hopefully no issue. I mean, it should be no issue. And then they will see like, wow, okay, 7 minutes and I'm out already. Okay.
Ting, did you ever drive the Zeekr 001?
Yeah, I did last week.
Oh yeah, nice. What do you think about it?
It's good, yeah. But I got used to battery swap, so I wouldn't wait for charging. And if I charge, I better charge my Tesla because I still charge it for free. So for charging wise, I still stick to Tesla. I wouldn't go to any other brand unless other brand give me free charging too. Maybe I would consider. And then the NIO is my main driving vehicle now. My wife drives Tesla more. So, but when she needs to charge, she asks me to go charge. So anyhow, happy wife, happy life, man. Remember.
Yeah.
Yep. See, Will was agreeing with me. And it does have a good suspension. I mean, the Zeekr 001 FR, the one that they even compete with the Modest Plaid, right? If you go look at all of the hypercar sport car, none of them have a air suspension, if I'm not mistaken. And FR does have the air suspension, dual chamber and everything. So it's just like you can go full all out sporty or just raise it up and drive like SUV with the right mode. You can do it all around. It can actually be used for most of the cases. So it's really good car. So I no doubt that the sales would try to complain that Zeekr is compete with them because they do compete.
All right, one or two more.
I'm trying to. I'm not sure this question refer to mass production going to start. It's like sub brand or something, or like a mass production of
probably ONVO.
The ONVO. Okay. Speculation Q3, Q3, Q4.
Yeah, definitely. They're doing test production for July, and they've already produced like lots of like the early test cars. But Q3 probably.
All right.
Okay, man. Know me. Why you ask this kind of question? If all fail, are you really know me, man? Still have any chance of surviving?
Of course, it does.
I mean, it depends on how the failure happens. Is it like some spectacular flame out where the factory goes up and like blows up or something, or you know what I mean? Like, or it's just sales are mediocre. It depends on what happens, right? So
Yeah, I'm assuming you said fail by like sales are mediocre, not too much, maybe 2,000 per month or 3,000 per month. Well, if that's the case, they might have to do price cuts to incentivize sales to get that number up. But also, I mean, like, I don't see NIO failing even if ONVO fails. They got a lot of like very heavy backers with NIO. Like JD, Xiaomi is a backer of NIO as well. The government really likes NIO as well. You know, government's committed to building swap stations with NIO. So that's how committed they are. And government is very rich. So, you know, they might I'm guessing Hefei would love to do another one of those deals that they did back in 2019. Like, yeah, it's just one phone call basically. So even if they got into trouble, I mean, they would of course survive. And
I mean, I'm still.
infrastructure alone is worth like $2 billion. NIO has more chargers than Tesla, and then chargers plus swap stations combined, you have 3 times more than Tesla here in China. So yeah, just the infrastructure is worth like 2 billion plus cash 8 billion. So you got just those two together is worth like 10 billion. Yeah.
I mean, Mr. P, didn't Anhui province, the entire province, commit to building a bunch of swap stations?
Yeah, 1,000 swap stations.
So they want 1,000 swap stations. They must have a deal. There must be a deal in the background in place in the future for NIO to provide, or ONVO to provide cars, or Firefly to provide cars for the government, for taxis, for something.
Backup plans, yeah.
Why would they need another
Maybe,
1,000 swap stations for that one province? There's got to be something cooking. He's gonna flip the table, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the fleet alone in Anhui would flip the table.
Yeah.
Who knows? Initial boost, right? You got like 10K a month minimum.
Yeah.
To fill up all the taxis in the province.
Yeah, and Anhui doesn't want the failure of, you know, their pride and joy, their biggest, most successful company, really most famous company. You know, they don't want that. Anhui doesn't want that. Hefei doesn't want that. Lose a bunch of jobs.
Is NIO selling in Abu Dhabi yet? No?
Not yet. June.
Soon, eh?
Yeah, June.
It's easier. They need to bring the swap station, everything there too, right? The full blast there.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, layoff. You heard anything, man? There's some question on the layoff thing.
So layoff, it appears that a lot of European management people have been leaving the company, like layoff left the company. Alfonso also seems to have left the company. Yeah, head of exterior design left. Yeah, I saw that as well.
You saw that one.
And look, job cuts are very normal. It happens everywhere. Even Apple does job cuts. Google does job cuts. Everybody does job cuts. It's just removing some of the, you know, not so great talent. I wouldn't say not so great, but more of redundant talent, and injecting fresh blood, basically. Yeah, you hire better people for the job. It's just natural process, natural way of doing things. And also Li Auto's rumored to do price cut. I mean, like job cuts as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that I heard too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on this, the high profile executive, the head of exterior design, it might not be a job cut. It could have just been the career change, whatever. We cannot assume that he was redundant, right? I wouldn't say that is part of job cut. It could be some other reasons. So don't just make assumption that all of the people leaving our job cuts. Yeah.
And I don't want to beat a dead horse too, but I'm still of the opinion that the economy in China kind of sucks, and it's not getting better fast. So I think that's the biggest headwind for a lot of companies. Like the entire economy is not. It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, this is what I heard exactly, Will, because they aim like the whole year output 800K, so all the staff and everything was like to support this, and now we're like quarter past already, and it's really difficult to reach that 800K output by the year end. So they have to plan before first half of the year, I think. And the Mega didn't sell as good, right? They only sold first month 3,000 cars. I mean, compared to all the REV, they sell like 10,000, like close to 10,000 for each model. But for BEV debut, they already got the 3K first month. They were hoping for 10K or more, I'm sure, because the booking was like 20K something plus 20, 30K, I think, like the booking. And then after the launch, a lot of the cancellations.
And we talked about this too, like 2 weeks ago, maybe, I think. You guys said in Beijing you see a lot of Mega because that's where Li Auto is, right? I'm still not seeing cars.
You
I
haven't
think
seen
I've
any?
seen 2 in Shenzhen.
I saw the special color one, the most expensive one, on the road day
How was
before yesterday. Looks good actually. It's called what, the gray elephant gray something. It's like kind of like yellowish gray kind of. It looks unique. So, but if you say the white one looks ugly, then when you see this one, you might say like, then it's like that. To me, I look at it, it's still.
Hey Will, have you seen any Megas on the road, customer cars in Changsha?
And baby elephant, yeah. You mean yourself? Sorry, kidding. Okay, the color.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Will?
I mean, we know they're not selling that great, but yeah.
Yeah, I do agree they sell well, but per their expectation, I'm sure they aim for 10K plus. That's what I meant. Because they aim to have, if I'm not wrong, yeah, Mega should be the best-selling car above 500K. That's what their goal is, like from the debut. Like it should be the best-selling car above 500K. And if I sort all the 500K, they are not ranked that up to the top yet. Any car too. They say like any car above 500K. So they're gonna have to compete with a lot more, man. You need to have at least 10K to get that argument going.
Seems like all these companies have high expectations for their expensive BEVs, and it's gonna be tough to reach them. People want hybrids.
See, Denza D9 DMI sell a lot more, right? In terms of MPV. X9, Xpeng X9 sell tiny bit more than Mega also, but it's slightly cheaper.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put up that. Yeah, but some say that it looks like coffin. Oh, what about this payment on the factory? Okay, I promise this is the last one. Otherwise, the Eric would be like.
I think it's past midnight already here. Hold on, let me check.
Yeah, I know, man. Sorry.
Oh no, almost.
Didn't you already pay for it?
They paid for the factory last year. They've already paid for it. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
It's done.
That's good. Yeah. That's good.
And it's not lost. It's counted as assets. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So I think thanks for everyone joining the podcast. We are on a different time zone with Eric also, so we want to ensure that at least he still survive our next podcast. So be nice to him. We try to keep it today at least less than 1.5 hours. So if you're gonna comment that hey, it's too long, blah blah, just go back and look for what you look for. Yeah, I know we talk a little bit maybe off the subject, but I'm sure you get something from what we discussed about. Yeah. All right.
I thought it was a good show tonight, so I'm glad we talked longer.
Oh, cool. All right, cool. I wish that I wouldn't get any complaint from him, but now it's good. That's good.
Bye, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I send you off to bed. Thanks, Mr. P. Thanks, Eric. And see you in the next podcast. Yeah. Thanks a lot for joining, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out. Why you have to let me talk? This is the code for you, man. You should do the talking when you end it.